Dallas Cowboys appear to be in the midst of a brewing internal crisis that is beginning to ripple through the NFL community, sparking rumors and speculation about the future of some key players. At the center of this unfolding drama is head coach Brian Schottenheimer, who allegedly reached a boiling point in his relationship with tight end Jake Ferguson. According to sources close to the team, Schottenheimer was overheard saying, "He doesn't play with me anymore," a statement that has sent shockwaves across Cowboys fans and analysts alike. This declaration hints at a possible rift between coach and player, raising questions about team dynamics, leadership, and how internal conflicts might impact the Cowboys' performance this season. While no official statements have been made, the murmurs suggest that tensions have been simmering beneath the surface for some time, with this incident acting as a breaking point. The atmosphere around the team, usually marked by resilience and camaraderie, now seems charged with uncertainty. Observers are keen to understand what triggered such a public display of frustration and what consequences this might have for the roster as the Cowboys gear up for crucial upcoming games. The underlying causes remain speculative, but insiders hint at disagreements over playtime, attitude, or commitment, adding fuel to an already intense spotlight on Dallas. Rumors have started swirling that this clash between Brian Schottenheimer and Jake Ferguson might not just be a momentary flare-up, but could signal deeper fractures within the Cowboys' locker room. Speculation is rife about how this dispute could influence not only Ferguson's role, but also the cohesion among the offensive unit. Analysts and fans alike are debating whether this is a tactical fallout or a personal issue that has spilled into the public domain. Some insiders whisper about ongoing tensions that have allegedly been ignored by management, allowing frustrations to build over time. This situation has placed both Schottenheimer and Ferguson under immense pressure, as the coach's reputed impatience and the players' perceived response are now under intense scrutiny. The Cowboys have long been a team where discipline and unity are prioritized, but this apparent breakdown challenges that narrative. Industry experts speculate that such a public declaration by the coach might be a calculated move to assert authority or a desperate attempt to regain control in a season filled with ups and downs. Meanwhile, fans are left to ponder what this could mean for the team's strategy and morale moving forward. The question remains whether this conflict will escalate or if cooler heads will prevail to restore harmony. In light of this unfolding drama, the Dallas Cowboys front office is reportedly monitoring the situation with heightened concern, understanding the delicate balance between supporting their coaching staff and maintaining player morale. The decision makers are likely weighing the potential fallout of this dispute on team chemistry and the broader implications for the franchise's reputation. It is widely speculated that behind-the-scenes meetings have taken place, with executives urging both Schottenheimer and Ferguson to resolve their differences quickly. The tension could be symptomatic of larger challenges within the team's culture or coaching approach, especially as the Cowboys strive to meet the high expectations of fans and stakeholders alike. Some insiders speculate that the front office might consider intervention strategies ranging from mediation sessions to adjustments in the coaching roster or player usage to diffuse the situation. The potential repercussions of such internal strife are significant, given the high stakes of the NFL season and the Cowboys' aspirations for playoff contention. This rumor mill has ignited debates about leadership style, player management, and whether Schottenheimer's approach aligns with the team's long-term vision. The evolving narrative raises doubts and anticipation about possible roster moves or coaching changes on the horizon. Adding to the intrigue, there are whispers that this rift might affect the Dallas Cowboys' game day decisions and overall offensive schemes, as tensions between the coach and tight end could disrupt critical in-game communication and execution. Analysts suggest that Jake Ferguson, a player known for his versatility and promising potential, could see reduced playing time or altered responsibilities if the fallout continues. This speculation is feeding a broader conversation about how interpersonal conflicts within high-pressure environments like the NFL impact performance and outcomes. Some sources hint that Schottenheimer's frustration may stem from more than just a single incident, perhaps tied to ongoing concerns about Ferguson's role in key plays or his adaptation to the coach's system. Such a schism could have ripple Effects beyond the individual, potentially influencing the confidence and performance of the offensive line and quarterback. The possibility of a tactical reshuffle or lineup adjustments is now a hot topic among commentators and fans who watch closely for any signs of strain during games. As the Cowboys navigate this turbulent period, the question remains whether the team's leadership can successfully manage this conflict without compromising competitive edge or locker room unity. Meanwhile, the broader NFL community watches the Dallas Cowboys' internal situation with a mix of curiosity and concern, as such rumors often hint at deeper challenges that can define a team's season. The possibility that Brian Schottenheimer's patience has run out on Jake Ferguson fuels discussions about coaching effectiveness and player accountability in professional sports. Observers are intrigued by how this dispute might serve as a case study for managing conflicts in elite teams, balancing authority with empathy, and maintaining focus amid distractions. Some speculate that this could inspire other teams to examine their own internal dynamics, while others wonder if the Cowboys might become cautionary tale, or conversely, a story of redemption. Fans eagerly await official statements or developments that could clarify the situation, while media outlets continue to probe for more details. This ongoing saga underscores the fragile nature of team chemistry and the high stakes involved when leadership and talent clash publicly. The rumors continue to build anticipation and debate, suggesting that what happens next in Dallas could have ripple effects not only for the team, but for NFL coaching and management philosophies at large. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video. All right, Bears Nation, buckle up because things are starting to move fast in Chicago. Training camp is in full swing, the preseason is right around the corner, and the roster battles are already giving us plenty to talk about. Let's start with one of the most exciting parts of every preseason, the rookies. And honestly, it's hard not to be intrigued by what we've seen so far. There's a certain energy when new talent steps onto the field, and right now guys like Manungai are doing more than just turning heads. They're legitimately pushing for roles. I mean, if he keeps showing this level of burst and decision making, don't be surprised if he locks up that backup running back spot behind DeAndre Swift. It's still early, but from the looks of it, the coaching staff is giving him a real shot. This is the kind of storyline that can fly under the radar now but blow up by the end of preseason. Speaking of rookies, there's plenty more to watch. Luther Burden is definitely another name making noise. He might not end up with a massive target share early on, but when the ball does come his way, it looks like he's capable of making high impact plays. That said, expectations should probably stay measured. We're likely talking about a guy who'll rotate in and show flashes rather than dominate from the jump. Still, when you've got explosive upside, those limited chances can lead to highlight moments. And that's all it takes for a rookie to start climbing up the depth chart. Now, let's talk about the offensive line. One of the biggest storylines coming out of camp is how Azzi Trapilo holds up at left tackle. That position is still a bit of a question mark, and while Braxton Jones is in the mix, the Bears aren't exactly tipping their hand just yet. It's a critical spot, especially with a young quarterback behind center. If Trapilo proves he can handle the speed and physicality of NFL edge rushers, he could cement himself as a starter. But if the competition stays close, don't rule out a rotation early in the season or even a trade down the line. Braxton Jones is entering a contract year, and although he's still developing, he could become a trade chip if someone like Los Angeles, who just lost Rashawn Slater, gets desperate enough to offer a mid-round pick. The Bears have depth at tackle, and with Benedict quietly impressing, it's not impossible to imagine a move happening before final cutdowns. Now, shifting back to the offense, we need to talk about Caleb Williams. There's been a lot of noise recently, and yeah, I saw the headline that sparked the panic. Is it time to worry about Caleb Williams? Honestly, these kinds of click-driven takes are part of the landscape now. But let's be real. It's training. Camp. Pads just went on, and we're still weeks away from meaningful football. Caleb is learning the playbook, adjusting to NFL speed, and building chemistry with his receivers. There's going to be some bumps. That's normal. The real evaluation begins when the live bullets fly, starting with joint practices and then preseason games. What matters most is how he looks once the games count in September. Until then, we can pump the brakes on the panic. And let's not forget, and this offense has weapons. Caleb's job is going to be made a lot easier by the sheer volume of talent around him. You've got DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, Cole Kmet, Loveland, Zacchaeus, and Burden. That's a stacked group. And if they stay healthy, it's going to be a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. I was asked to rank those guys in terms of how many receptions they'll end up with. And here's my take. DJ Moore sits at the top. Even if he doesn't run the most complete route tree, they're going to get the ball in his hands, no doubt about it. Romo Dunze is probably second. He's just too polished to not be featured consistently. Then I go Loveland third. He's a tight end, but man, this guy can run routes like a wideout and has serious red zone appeal. Zacchaeus comes in fourth, followed by Cole Kmet, who I think might have a more blocking heavy role this year. And rounding it out is Luther Burden. He'll have his moments, but he might be a lower volume, high impact type early on. This depth is both a blessing and a challenge. The Bears have a good problem. Too many mouths to feed. When you've got a rookie quarterback throwing 30 to 32 times a game, not everyone's going to eat equally. Some weeks DJ goes off. Other weeks, Rome leads the box score. There might even be a random Zacchaeus game where he grabs 6 or 7 passes. What matters is that Caleb has options. It gives the offense flexibility and makes it much harder for defenses to game plan. They can't double everyone. Someone's going to get single coverage. And if Caleb finds those matchups, the Bears can move the ball on just about anybody. Let's talk a little more about Loveland. There's already been a hot take floating around that he could hit 10 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Now, that's ambitious. I could see the touchdowns happening, especially with his size and leaping ability in the red zone. One-on-one, even when he's covered, he's still open. But the yardage, that's tough. You need 70, maybe even 80 or 90 receptions to hit those numbers. And with the number of targets going around, that feels like a stretch. Still, his presence alone could change how defenses handle Chicago inside the 20. He is going to be a weapon, no doubt. And before we move on, let's circle back to the start of the season. Week 1 is looming, and yeah, it's against the Vikings on Monday Night Football. Now, some people are calling it a must-win, especially with Jordan Addison suspended and Minnesota breaking in a new quarterback. I won't go that far. It's hard to call any Week 1 game a must-win, but it's definitely a critical matchup. You're at home. It's JJ's first NFL start. Addison is out. This is a game you need to capitalize on because after that, it's off to Detroit, and suddenly you're staring down a 0-2 start. So yeah, it's big. This is one of those tone-setting games. You win this, you get the momentum rolling. Early looking ahead to the first preseason game against the Dolphins, it's always tricky to predict who will actually take the field. Starters usually play limited snaps, if at all, but the excitement is still there. We're back in game mode. We'll be live with coverage, breaking down every drive, watching how the depth players compete, and maybe even getting our first real look at how this roster is shaping up. That itch is back. You can feel the energy building. These are the games where jobs are won and surprises emerge. And let's address the trade rumors quickly, specifically the one about potentially sending Braxton Jones to the Chargers. With Slater going down, LA could definitely be on the phone, but would the Bears really part ways with Braxton now? Maybe if the return is right. If a middle round pick is on the table and you're confident in Trapila or Benedette to step up, it's possible. But remember, Braxton's still in year 2 and developing. He's had some injury concerns, sure, but giving up on that potential might be premature. Still, this front office has shown it's not afraid to make bold moves, so it's something to keep an eye on. Now, as for predictions, I know preseason scores don't count, but it's always fun to guess. Bears versus Dolphins. Chicago's a slight favorite, maybe 3 or 4 points depending on where you look. I'm not betting the house on anything. It's preseason, but I think the Bears come out with something to prove. The offense will look to get into rhythm early, even if it's just the backups, and the defense will be looking to make a statement. Let's see how the young guys handle the moment. And just before we wrap this first part, one more thing. With so many weapons on offense, someone's going to get left out of the weekly stat sheet. It's inevitable. You got Caleb throwing around 30 passes a game, maybe a bit more depending on the flow, but not everyone's going to get 5 or 6 targets. That's why I think Cole Kmet might see fewer looks than some expect. Same with Burden. Early on, it's going to be matchup driven. Some weeks it's the tight ends, other weeks it's the outside receivers. The key is flexibility. The Bears now have that. You can tailor the game plan to your opponent without sacrificing talent on the field. As we keep peeling back the layers of this Bears roster, it's impossible not to get hyped about the defensive side of the ball. Chicago's defense has always been the foundation of this team's identity, and while the offense is making waves with fresh faces and big-name weapons, the defense is quietly building towards something formidable. The new additions and returning veterans combined could make for a really nasty unit that keeps offenses honest every Sunday. One of the biggest storylines here is the secondary. The Bears have been working hard on improving their coverage schemes, especially after some inconsistencies last season. This year, the coaching staff seems laser focused on tightening up communication and ensuring everyone is on the same page. The pressure on the corners to stick with their men and the safeties to roam effectively is immense. But the young guys stepping up look promising. There's a real hunger to prove themselves, and that competitive edge could translate into more interceptions and pass breakups. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears, and don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below.